Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from sweetstamper.com, and I'm so happy to be with you here today for my second weekly Facebook Live. It's not the second weekly, it's my second of the week. I do two Facebook Lives every week, and this is my Thursday Facebook Live, and we do simple stamping here. We really focus on stamps, ink, and paper, and then we step things up a little bit. So simple stamping, there's a hashtag simple stamping, but Stampin' Up! Started a couple of years ago and has been really popular. And one of the things it helps do is to help new people fall in love with stamping, because that's how we all start, with stamps, ink, and paper. But I think it also helps us, those of us who are avid stampers, who've been stamping for a while, it helps us get back to the basics. And simple is always a powerful thing. Hey, Susan, I'm so glad you're here with us. I'm glad you're back in San Antonio, safe and sound. And hey, Barb, I'm glad you are here. So let me just make sure I'm coming through. Oh yeah, I'm coming through on the computer as well. So that means in just a minute, I'm going to flip the camera down. I'm only going to give it a couple of minutes here to say hello to you. And then I am going to go ahead and bring the camera down, because I have a lot to share with you here today, and I'm launching my Cards with a Twist class for June. Hey, Laura, I'm glad you're here. And I've got a fun bundle to share with you here today, which is also the featured stamp set that I'm using for my May Cards with a Twist. So, hey, Melissa, I'm glad you're here as well. Okay, Jill's here, so we've got some people gathering. I'm going to go ahead and bring the camera down. It may take me a minute or two to kind of get everything lined up as I continue to work with my somewhat new camera setup. So thanks again for joining us, and I'm going to bring the camera down for you. Okay, let's see. Hopefully that is going to be a good view. Okay. And we are having just unprecedented rains here in San Antonio. I'm telling you, I mean, June is typically a pretty wet month for us, but man, golly, we've got rain and more rain and more rain. So let's see if I can get into camera view before I go any farther, and you'll be able to see where I'm heading for my Cards with a Twist class for May. I'm still in May, for June. So let me show you what Cards with a Twist is. A class that I run every single month. Hey, Marlene, welcome. And in my Cards with a Twist class, we do 8 cards, and we technically do 2 each of 4 designs, but there's a twist on each pair of cards. Hey, Darlene, I'm glad you're here. So I'm featuring the new in colors, and I absolutely love these colors. So let's see where we go. Let me also show you that I am featuring this new Flowers of Friendship and the stamps, as well as, oh, I forgot to bring the punch over here. Where did I put the punch? I kind of need that punch today. I was playing with it yesterday quite a lot, and now, there we go. I thought I was missing an action, but I found it. So there, hey, Jackie, I'm glad you're here with us. So here is the stamps and punch that I'm featuring in my Cards with a Twist class. So let me show you what we're going to do. So here are the cards. So we're doing a little pale papaya, and that's how I twist. This, I oftentimes twist by twisting, just doing the orientation differently. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you're here with us. And then this is polished pink, and again, we're kind of twisting the orientation and bringing it. Now we don't have all that many greetings in this stamp set, so I did bring in another greeting stamp set, which is, you know, something we can do. Here is Fresh Freesia, which I'm absolutely loving, this beautiful soft purple color. And then probably my favorites, because I was bringing in the 2 greens, so I have Evening Evergreen and Soft Succulent, and of course I paired them with another one of the in colors, because that's what these cards are all about, is the new in colors, with this Beautiful bundle. So let me show you what you get and then what you can add on if you so wish. So you get a package of these new in color jewels. These are absolutely gorgeous. They have this iridescent quality and they pick up light so beautifully. You're going to love them. They are self-adhesive. Hey, Gail. You do get a, let me grab my notes here. I think it's a half a pack. Where did my note go? Half a pack of this designer series paper. This is the new, what do they call these? It's like the color collections, but they have them for each of the color collections. I think this might be my favorite of all of these that we've ever had. We change these out every couple of years. I love the patterns because they're just so versatile. And so you're going to get a half a package of these papers. You can see I've been whacking away on mine. And this is actually my second set that I've worked through. Get a half a package of this. Then the magic on some of these cards, I think, is this beautiful, beautiful in color glimmer shimmer vellum. Now, this actually comes in 12 by 12, but I'm going to cut it down into 6 by 6 for mailing purposes. And I think you get a quarter of a pack. This is what gives this little shimmer here on the leaves. I did the shimmer here on these flowers. I did the shimmer here as a layer. So you can use this shimmer paper, this shimmer vellum. The nice thing about this vellum is that a lot of times with vellum, your adhesive shows through. Because this is glimmery, it doesn't show through. So I've attached these with a glue dot and you can't even see the adhesive. So I think because of the heavy shimmer on it, and also it's pretty thick, you can't see any of your adhesive. So Mary, I'm glad that you are back with us, and I'm sorry you missed us on Tuesday. I haven't even downloaded it to YouTube, which I usually do. I got to get back into my routine of things because I have people who like to watch this and they're not on Facebook. So you got to have a package of this, a quarter package of this, and then these beautiful in color jewels, and then everything you need to make these 8 cards. And let me show you what you can add on if you, and you get one of these. You're going to get a blender pen as well, because I'm going to assume that you have the 5 new in color markers. You can add that if you want to. They're only $15. But that is what I used to color all of these. I used just the markers. And the markers are a more affordable option than the blends. Sometimes we forget that you can, yes, even color your stamps with those markers. So I'm going to bring in the markers partly because they're super affordable, and I think we sometimes forget that if you want to get all 5 of the new in colors and do it in a very reasonable way, just grab the in color markers. And that's a great way to try them out. Then if you decide you like some of them or all of them, then you can purchase the in color ink pad and the what do you call it, the refill with it if you are so inclined. But I think that the in color markers are such a great deal, and they also have so many different things that you can do with them. Also, several of the new in color blends are on back order. So I like to stay away from the back order things. And hey, Judy, I'm glad you're here with us today. So that is Cards with a Twist for June. And I'm going to go ahead and feature the same stamp set for my projects today. Before I go down that road, I did want to share with you a couple of swaps I had received with this same bundle. So this is super cute, again, using the in colors, which is what I'm doing for my Cards with a Twist. And then this one, super cute, again. Well, no, this is Melon Mambo and Granny Apple Green. So, and that's kind of the direction I'm going today, although I'm not going with Melon Mambo. I am going into the in colors that debuted last year because we get a whole second year of them. And I am pulling out my Magenta Madness. This is a color that I definitely had to kind of make friends with because it's what I would call in-your-face pink, super, super bright. And it is not for the faint of heart. but it is a great color. It's super, super bright. I think it works better as an accent for the most part. And so I'm going to kind of go I'm going to go here, 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 and here on my color coach. And that's what you can do. The nice thing about these color coaches is that you can mix and match the color combinations. Even though they're in sets of 3, yeah, you can go in all different directions and they'll all work really well. So let's get my tools out here that I'm going to need today. That may be the alcohol. What else am I going to need? Probably nothing else in here. And then I know I'm going to need, well, there's Seal Plus. Might need that. Definitely going to need some of these guys and maybe these. Okay. So we are going to go with, okay, Karen, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And welcome, Jeanette. Stampin' Up! Does this hashtag simple stamping, and each month they give us a fresh focus. You know, I'm going to flip this over. That's going to drive me crazy. Oh, I've been stamping pansies on this. Let me turn this over and see if I can do something that will stop the, that's just going to make me think the whole time that I've messed up. Okay, we have a fresh piece of grid paper. That's better. So the hashtag for this month is Stamps, Ink, Paper. Well, I say the hashtag. The hashtag is always hashtag simple stamping. The focus this month is Stamps, Ink, Paper, and a punch. So I thought, okay, perfect for this little punch bundle to do a little simple stamping. So what I'm going to do first, you can see I'm using a note card and just a little bit of the Magenta Madness cardstock. And I'm going to grab the ink pad. And I've got some of my stamps already mounted. And that is the large and the small flower. And of course they stack on top of each other ever so nicely. So let's start here and let's just random stamp this flower. And I'm actually going to bring in a different punch on this card, and then use this flower punch on the next card. So let's just kind of do this and do some random stamping, although I am kind of making a pattern, aren't I? That's probably all I need. Look at there. Pretty fancy shamancy, I would say. Now, you know, on this one, I could just keep it super simple and not even do a punch. Well, maybe I'll do the flower punch. I like one of the greetings is this, super cute. It says, little card, big thanks. And that's perfect for this little note card. Little card, big thanks. Look how clean and crisp is that Magenta Madness. I mean, you really just don't hardly even need anything else. But maybe we will. So let's do a little bit of basic white cardstock, and let's just do a little bit of Magenta Madness, and let's do 2 of these flowers, and let's just try it out and see what we think, because that's what we can do. I can already see I'm getting ink in places that I didn't mean to get it, which is why I have my trusty little alcohol prep pads here. Because, you know, when you're working with white cardstock, I think that's when you really, really want to dial in to having super clean fingers, because you inadvertently pick up little bits of ink and then you transfer it to that white cardstock and you're like, oh, crumbs, you know, that's not what I meant to have happen. So let's put that away. And I need my little chopper. Where's my little chopper? Here we go. I'm going to cut this off because anytime you're using one of these builder punches where you have a lot of different pieces, you don't want to put your cardstock in here and then end up cutting a bunch of cardstock that you don't need cut. So I like, you see how you end up with pieces cut and lots of, so I like to just make thin pieces of cardstock that I can then thread into my punch very easily. So let's do a little bit of this one here. And these are super easy to line up. This left over from last night. If you are in the San Antonio area, you are getting lots of rain. Actually, a perfect day to do some stamping. And if you are somewhere else in Texas or beyond, I don't know. I think a lot of us are getting some unusual weather patterns. It's super cool. I'm just shocked at how cool it is. Okay, now let's see. We've got Magenta Madness and white. Now what happens if we add a white flower like so and not even add any more ink? I kind of like that, so I'm gonna wait and see what you guys say without even coloring it in. That's just with the ink pad. I could add some blends. I could really, you know, vamp it up, ramp it up as it were. But I think that's really kind of nice just the way it is. Now, what I could also do, let me trim down just a little wee piece of this Granny Apple Green. Let's see what happens if we put some leaves on there. No rain in Royce City. Okay. Well, Barb, you could take some of ours. I'm telling you, although, you know, we were gone for 2 weeks and coming home, I don't remember the yard being this green in June, and I can't remember when. You know, we start getting the brown summer grass, and this year, man, it's just beautiful. Which I've got my England kids coming in 2 weeks. I get to finally meet my youngest granddaughter. She was a pandemic baby born in England, so they are finally getting to come across, and we're super excited about that. And I'm also glad that we're going to have a little bit of cooler weather for them, because yeah, definitely cool in the UK, and my grandbabies are used to having that cool weather. So having a little bit of cooler temperatures, I think is going to really help them to acclimate. So what do we think? Do we want that little green? Do we want a little green leaf or not? Hey Jennifer, I'm glad you're here with us too. Okay, so you like it just the way it is and not adding any of the green. I mean, you know, these are super what I call hot colors. This pink, Magenta Madness, is almost like a, neon pink. Okay, well, let's go ahead and stick this down. Like I said, this is super, super simple. So if you were introducing somebody to stamping, this would be a great way to do it. You know, the other thing I love about our end colors is that they're in groups of 5. So you can buy the whole collection of end colors. You can buy the markers, like I said earlier, for $15. Come on, there we go. You can also buy the assorted cardstock, so you get all 5 of the colors. And so it's a great way to kind of dip your toe into a nice set of 5 colors. Okay, no green, so we're going to go just with pink and white. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just pop that on there. I am going to cross stack it so that we see all the colors coming through. And then we're going to pop that up on dimensionals. Super quick and easy card. If you had a bunch of cards to make for, you know, thank you cards to make for, like I've got 2 weddings coming up. This would be perfect for, you've got all these wedding gifts you need to thank somebody for. And this is bright, young, fun, happy. And I honestly think it could go in a whole host of places and look super cute. So Gail, you like the green leaf. You know, let's put this here. Let's let it overhang there. And let's talk about popping that underneath there. Just like so. One little pop of color. Now, what I was wanting to try out, even before I step this up to a larger card, these are super fun. I've been itching to get into them. These are the brand new In Color Square Gems. And because this has kind of got these square flower petals, it seems to me But that is going to be just the perfect little touch. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Now I haven't tucked the green. We can go with just monochromatic, pink and white, or we can tuck in a little touch of green. So I'll see if anybody else wants the touch of green. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to move on to our full card. I wanted to step up. I started out with a note card, and this is another thing that's perfect for people starting out stamping, is the note cards and envelopes. I think you get 20 and they're like $7.50. So they are, I mean, just so affordable. They're already scored, ready to go. Oh, speaking of, let's grab this little envelope and let's do, there's this really sweet stamp in here that I like a lot. And look at that. We can just add a little bit of the same, I love repeating patterns. And you see how it's that little 4-petaled flower in a bit of a square shape. So let's just add that. So Jeanette likes the touch of green and Mary likes the touch of green. So we'll add a little bit of green. So I could do it right across here. I don't want to put it up where the stamp is going to be. So maybe I'll just do it across this way. And let's just live dangerously. Isn't that sweet? So there I have that little envelope to go with it. With that same little repeating pattern, I am going to grab one of the small leaves. So there's a larger leaf and a smaller leaf. And because this is a little card, I'm going to just add that little leaf. And again, this is Granny Apple Green. And the way I knew to use Granny Apple Green is because of my trusty little color coach chart. So I like to cut these up and have them handy. So there, that tells me that when I'm using Magenta Madness, Granny Apple Green is going to be a natural. So that is a super quick and easy card, but very stylish. I mean, I love that. And I think this also would appeal to, like, my daughter is in her 30s. My daughter-in-law's in her 30s, you know, the younger girls, these weddings I'm going to, I've got 2 weddings this month. Those girls are in their 20s. I mean, this is, I think, but I, you know, I'm a senior and I like it. So, yeah, that color coach is a nifty little piece, and Jeanette is envying the color coach. Okay. So now I'm going to take a full half sheet of Magenta Madness, and let's see what we can do to step this card up and see if we're going to like it better with the simple or if we're going to like it better with the stepped up. Let's see what we think. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to start with, I'm going to also take this, and let's see if we can put another punch on here. And let's just see how that is going to look. And let's kind of do the opposite. Where's my white? Here's a little piece of white. See, I think you almost need to calm down that. I want to calm down that Magenta Madness. It's a lot of Magenta Madness. So I'm going to put the white here like so. But I am going to do some random stamping on the back. And this time I'm going to use my little stamp here like so. And let's just do it like this. And I'm hoping that whatever's in my head is going to come out somewhat on my card. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so now that's coming along rather nicely. I like that. Now, I don't even know what size that is because I think I cut off some for the for my little flower punch. Yes, a sweet shower gift. You are right, Jeanette. That would make a fantastic shower gift. Yeah, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I think it's a little bit wide. You know, the 3x4 piece is such a versatile piece to use on just about anything. So I'm going to go with that 3x4 piece. Now, on this, I'm thinking that maybe we will do a different greeting. Where did it go? This one I should clean because I finished with that one. And you can see, I mean, I've already shown you guys about my new class coming up. I've already made the card, didn't have any plan ahead of time. And it's, you know, we're 20 minutes into my demonstration. So these are super quick to make. I think this also, you know, if you had, like if you had a big birthday party and you wanted to send a little thank you to people, even people who would just come, I think sending people a thank you gift for coming to your party is, not a thank you gift, a thank you note is a really nice thing to do. So now I'm going to do a thank you for everything. And this time I'm going to use some Tuxedo black ink. Now I do like to stamp this first on my grid paper to make sure, yep, it's coming through, and it's coming through straight. So that's where sometimes the label is not as straight as I want it to be. So let's try that. I'm liking it. And now let's see what we can do with, oh, you know what? I used that white. Let's use some of, no, I need some more white. Let me grab some white. Use it all. Exactly what I need. A big piece of white like this. Because what I thought I would try my hand at is stamping some of these flowers, which I kind of need to, I should just, you know what, I could clean up as I go. See, that's why my kitchen's always a wreck when I finish cooking, is I don't clean up as I go. I know some of y'all are really disciplined that way. My mind just doesn't tend to go in that direction, so I just kind of like put it all out there and then hope for the best when I'm done on cleanup. Okay, but I know I can move some of these punches out of the way because I'm done with that. Okay, so let's try doing a couple of these flowers in Tuxedo Black right in front of me. And let's just work on them with a little bit of the colors that are recommended in the color coach for going with Magenta Madness. I thought, let's see what we can do. Let's see if maybe we can make one with each color. And I'm hoping these will fit on the punch. You know, that's the other thing with the builder punch. Sometimes you have to have enough room to punch these out. So maybe I should punch them out before I start. No, we'll live dangerously. Let's do a little bit of, let's start with one in Magenta Madness. We do have Magenta Madness blends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline with the dark. And I mean, this is really, really dark, but I like it. This is where I like Magenta Madness with a lot of white. I think the white helps it calm down. Now, I haven't seen Jennifer Jenkins on here today. She loves Magenta Madness. It's one of her favorite colors. Now, I felt that way about Pineapple Pink. Pineapple Pink was an in-your-face, not Pineapple Pink, Pineapple Punch. Pineapple Punch was an in-your-face yellow, but I like that super bright yellow. And I love pinks, but man, this is super bright. So I like to pair it with lots of white. So I'm just using the dark in some different ways here. Now I'm going to come back in with the light, and I'm probably going to need both ends open. And so even though this is light, look at how bright. I mean, that is pink, pink. I'm not going to bother coloring the center because I am going to punch out this other smaller flower and layer it on top, so I don't feel the need for that. And now let's just go through and do the lighter on the outside, kind of maybe more unexpected to put the lighter on the outside, the darker on the inside, kind of depends on the flower. And I am going to strategically, on purpose, leave a little bit of white space. I find that that really helps with your, when you're working with the blends. It kind of brings, again, just kind of calms everything down and on your colors and makes it so that it, I mean, in nature, oftentimes you'll have that little bit of white. Okay, let's see. Have I thought this through? Yes, I did. Haha, yes. Okay, so let's just punch this out. I will say on these builder punches, sometimes they're a little bit challenging on your hands because there's so many blades on there. And so this is where, if you have weakness in your hands, you can just lay it on the table, and that will, if you just use your weight, you know, that's where you can put some heft in there because you've got the weight of your body that you can press in. And again, it's mainly when you have a lot of different blades like this going down at one time that you'll find that where it's like doesn't really want to punch through for you. Well, I think I've got a little bit more down here too. I need to trim away so that it will go down into the punch where I'm wanting it to go. There we go. Now, let's just look and see, how is this coming along? Oh, you know what? I might just go in this direction. Maybe I'm going to do both of these. Oh, I'm kind of liking that. Now, there we are with the blends and the flower. Now, let's see what happens if we add in one of the other colors from our color coach and see what we think. And we may not even need that, but I kind of think we do. See, that's just a little bit too much. This, I think that makes me happy. So let's see about doing a So Saffron. This is another color that is on our color coach. So let's start with coloring in these dark areas first with So Saffron. So Saffron is kind of a creamy yellow, has a little bit of an orange cast to it. And it's going to bring in, you know, these remind me of the colors in Hawaii that you see so much. So now let's go. Not nearly as much difference in the light and dark on the So Saffron as you see on the Magenta Madness. Ooh, I can smell these blends. Wow. They do have a little bit of that. They are alcohol markers, so they do have that alcohol. Look at there. See how that brings down that nice set of nice soft yellow, creamy soft yellow. And then we're also, let's try one in Calypso Coral. And then we're going to play with them and decide, do we want to use one? Do we want to use them all? Let's just wait and see. I think I meant to use this. So there is my dark Calypso Coral, and it is super, super dark. Sometimes you get a little bit of a thread on there, and you can, that's why your grid paper is really helpful underneath you. Now, you could just use scrap paper underneath you, but one of the things I like doing with the grid paper is using all those lines to measure, to center. You know, that stamp that the greeting stamp, the reason I tried it out on my grid paper is I wanted to see if it was straight or not. That's a lot harder to do on scrap paper. And the grid paper, it's a big package. I think it's $10 for 100 sheets. So it's very affordable. Maybe it's 50 sheets. I think it's 50 sheets actually. Super affordable, lasts you a long time. And sometimes I like to use it and then just fold it in half. Use the other side and then fold it in half again. So you get a lot of mileage out of your grid paper. Calypso Coral blends is what I'm using right here. And we're going to see how this works. Oh, I did this the opposite of what I meant to do. Oh well, on colors there. Ooh. Now, I could also leave off the green. I could stamp my greeting in the center leave the green out because maybe I'm getting too many colors. I don't know. Let's see what we think. I'm definitely up for some people telling me what they think. I know y'all like to give me your opinions, and I like to hear them because I think we make a pretty good virtual design team. So I'll wait to hear what people are weighing in with. You know, the other thing with your blends, anytime you're using them like this, I like to, Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing my video. It helps me so much. One of the things I like to do is to allow the ink to dry before you place it, because it will dry a little bit lighter than it is when you initially are using it. So, you know, that ink, once it dries, comes out a little bit lighter. And I think then when you start placing things, you have a more true, accurate color that you're working with. So let's see. One more of these little guys. So you can see how this punch, I think, is a really good punch for all of us, and also for your new stamping friends. Because, you know, that's one of the things we do. We like to share stamping with the people that we love. So what do we think? Now we could even, didn't even think about this. We could kind of even play with these and give them some different colors, like so. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. I do tend to like things that are tone on tone. So let's go ahead and put these together, and then we'll decide what we're going to use. And if we want to put that green in the middle or not, let's just see. There. It's a little bit clunky to be using this, but I was too lazy to get the glue dots that are in my little case, and they're already closed up. So, you know, there's that. I am a lazy stamper, and I will readily admit to it. If there's a shortcut, I'm going to find it. I love, love, love to stamp, but I have a pretty short attention span. So I'm like, okay, we need to get this to work because my brain's already moving on to something else. Well, I do like these colors. I like them a lot. Ooh. Now what I could do is put these underneath and put the pink on. Ooh, I like that. I think I like that. What do we think about that white layer underneath there? Now I could also, I have a green layer, so let's just see how this would look. Let's try the green, because I just kind of grabbed some stuff when I was coming over here. Had an idea of the direction I wanted to go. But it's kind of like, you know, when you're making a new recipe, making a new dish, you kind of get the things that you want to use, and then you start working with them and see where it goes, where it all leads. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. What do we think? And then, you know, I could even do, let's just see if maybe we want to put thank you for everything. Oh, here it is. Howdy from Frio River. Hey, Crystal, what are you doing at Frio River? Y'all camping you camping with the family this weekend? Well, we're not actually at the weekend yet. We're still on Thursday, but I'm kind of liking that. What do you guys think? That kind of just kind of happened. Start playing around with this stuff, and lo and behold, something else happens. I thought what might be kind of fun with this is this double oval punch. Let's see. I think that will definitely not fit. Oh, you know what? I think it fits in the little one even. Let's see if I can get it, bring that down a little bit more. Everybody went quiet on me. You're in a cabin, fortunately. Yeah, I'm with you. I would not want to be in a tent on a weekend like this. Are you guys getting any rain up there? We have a lot of rain here. thinking? What are we thinking? Now, the other thing I could do is I could just stamp it. Now, I'm going to do that because I can always use the back if I don't like the way it comes out. So let's see what happens if we just stamp it right in the, let's come down here. I tend to not want too many things in the center, but I almost want more of those flowers. I kind of like that. I hope I'm not up, I stamped that upside down, so hopefully it's straight. Yeah, it is pretty straight. What do we think? I kind of like that. And I think maybe I just need to trim it down a little bit. Do I need to make it a little bit smaller or just kind of do it like that? I kind of like that. What do we think? Stamps, ink, and paper plus one punch. Lots of rain today. It's been beautiful since you came back. It came on Monday. Oh, so you're heading back today. I'm kind of liking this. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit and wait to see what anybody else has to say about putting this card, the final touches on this card. And this is my stepped up card, and my simple card is a note card. We made just a few changes, mainly by adding more colored cardstock and making a what we would call a full card rather than a note card. So tell me what you think, and I'm going to just tidy. And let's see, anybody? You like the green 3x4. I missed that direct, and stamping directly on there. Okay, thank you, Jeanette. That's helping. Jeanette has a great eye. I love designing with her. She actually has great ideas for events and things too. I use her feedback a lot to help me. I value her opinions greatly because she helps me to come up with some new ways of doing things at events and things. So you like the flowers in the center, okay. Yay. Yeah, I think that other shape was just too much shape. I think it made it a little bit busy because these flowers, there's a lot to them already. And I think that although I really like these little guys here, I might just put some, I'm thinking about putting some rhinestones in the middle there. And not really, of course I could color the centers and just use the ink. Let's see, what do we want to do? Get those out and give it a try, and then we are just about done. I have an appointment at 3:15, so I don't want to linger too long. I think I'm going to go ahead and place these because right now they are not stuck down, and I think I need to place them, yes, on the rhinestones. Yeah, I think they need a little bit of shine, and that's what the rhinestones are going to provide, is a little bit of shine. You know, one of the things that happens sometimes when we're using colored cardstock is you just get too much color. And you need to have something that is going to bring in, look at that, how it brings in a little bit of light. And I think what I'm going to do is do a large one in the center and then the smaller ones on the side. And now I think I'm ready to just stick all this down. I think I'm really happy with that. So I'll see what everybody else is thinking. So yeah, this is totally our simple stamping for the month, which is June. And we did add one little embellishment. Other than that, totally simple stamping. So let's put this down. And this is just the glue that I had out and handy. And anytime you're having trouble getting it out of the tip, and you know there's liquid glue in there, you can feel it, but it's just not coming out, and the tip seems to not be clogged, just turn it the other way, and you can get the last dregs out, I think, much easier by using the, what I call the mucilage tip, because, I don't know, when I was in school, you had mucilage. it was this really cool, very cool adhesive, kind of a liquid glue. Now I'm going to put this one down first, and I'll show you why. Because by putting this one down first, let's just line this up a little bit. Here we go, 3 there, 3 there. Yep. Okay, so we're going to center on the grid paper, and then that's going to help me put that in the middle. And then I'm just going to tuck these right under. And I think I'm going to keep them, you know, sometimes I want to offset them, but I think I'm going to keep them all in the same direction. So I want that pink one, the Magenta Madness one, I want it to really, really be standing out. Yeah, let's just do it like that. So I'm putting these flush underneath. So they are solid on the Granny Apple Green cardstock. And then the center one is popped up. And I like it. That color combination is really, really pretty. I would not have thought to use those colors necessarily. But I think that the Calypso Coral and the So Saffron kind of calm down the Magenta Madness. So this actually looks like a card that I would send somebody as a thank you from Hawaii. I think these are Hawaii colors is what that reminds me of. So let me find my little color coach once again. You know, I've shared the download here, but you do then have to, you know, you have to print it and all of that, cut it and all of that good stuff. And sometimes people just haven't gotten that far. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do this and pop that same little stamped element on. And then let's go here, and let's go once in the middle. Fun, fun. So there we go. Simple and stepped up stamping, quick, easy cards that have really hot summer colors. Makes me think of summer fun, summer in the sun, kind of fun, and a little bit of Hawaii, which wasn't really intended. But I think Magenta Madness is just one of those it's a color that reminds me of tropical things because it's so, so bright. So if you can still move the yellow flower, it needs a quarter turn. Oh, thank you. Oh, I see. Thank you, Jeanette. You're right. Ooh, I've got that liquid glue under there. Yikes. Come on, baby. Come on, little flower. Don't do this to me. Yay. Yep. Well, it's tearing it up on the back, but nobody's going to see the back. So let's just do it like so. Thank you, Jeanette, for catching that. And this is, again, where I'm doing it upside down. Sometimes your eye just doesn't see the things that you need to see. I think because your mind is constantly trying to turn it right side up. Okay, so that is now correct. So tell me what you think. Which is your favorite? You like the stepped up or you like the simple? I like them both. You know, I almost don't even have a favorite. I really like the way they turned out. So I thank you for your help in helping me to stamp and to design. And I will show you what, you know, I keep this little guy in my toolkit because it's just, I just keep water in it. But you know, when the edges of your little chamois are getting dry and you're not close to the sink, you can just do that. And then that is ready to clean. So, okay, everybody's liking them both. Very good. And it is, you know, it does kind of show you how if you need something a little more stepped up, you know, obviously coloring with the blends is going to take more time. And so I think this is almost a question of, I'm going to move this paper out from underneath me because it's kind of distracting my eye. I think it might distract yours too. It's almost a matter of stepping up the time more than anything else. because we did step up by using, you know, a full half sheet of cardstock here, where we used a note card here. But I think more than anything, I mean, this is just a little tiny bit more white cardstock, a little bit more of the Granny Apple Green. More than anything, by bringing in the blends, and you could have done them all in Magenta Madness, but I do think the extra colors kind of definitely bring that Hawaiian feel to it. But this definitely takes longer, where this one is just stamp it, punch it, boom, you are done. So thank you so much for coming today. Be sure to check out the registration link, which I am still finalizing the details on, for my Cards with a Twist class for June. And basically, I just gave you 2 more ideas. So if you decide to add on the stamp set and punch, then you've got 2 more designs, plus I give you 8 in here. So I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you again for joining me for Simple and Stepped Up Stamping, my weekly Thursday Facebook Live. Hey Diane, you've just gotten on here just as we're finishing up. I'm glad you're here anyway, and you can always watch the replay. Every Thursday we do Simple and Stepped Up Stamping. Every Tuesday is Teach Me Tuesday, so I come every Tuesday and every Thursday Facebook Live right here at facebook.com/sweetstamper. Thank you so much for sharing my video. It helps me tremendously. So I know some of y'all have already done that, and I really appreciate. Hey Mary, I'm glad you're here. So if you're just signing on here at the end, make sure that you watch the beginning and the papers. How much are the papers? This set of in-color papers is $11.50. All of our designer papers that are not specialty papers are $11.50 for the whole package. And I want to say the Glimmer, this is the Shimmer Vellum. Where did my note go? I don't see my note. I want to say it's like $7. I think it's $7, and like I said, they're 12 by 12 sheets. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this Glimmer paper. So I do have a host code here at the top of my page. So if you're interested in placing an order, you can just go to stampin'up.com, use my host code. It will automatically attach to me. And don't forget that we do have the last chance list going, and that is for things that are retiring from the spring catalog. Things that basically didn't make it into the annual catalog are retiring. Some of those items are deeply discounted. I've got my favorites highlighted on here. I'm a bargain basement girl from childhood. And so I will share, I do have a little graphic I made for some of these, so I will share that on here as soon as I'm done. And that way, if you're interested in some of those, my kind of top picks of, basically they're 40 to 50% off. That's always where I'm gonna go first. That's just the way my brain goes. I grew up with parents who were very frugal, and but my daddy in particular always said he grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, which was actually very true. And but his mom was really adamant about them having the best they could possibly afford. So they would only have one of something, but they got it in the bargain basement at Josky's. So instead of having 5 of something, they would just have one, but they got it at that bargain basement at Josky's. And so it lasted. So yeah. And I do, you know, Stampin' Up! Products are the best on the market, and you have confidence in our color. Our color coordination is unmatched anywhere. And also our product coordination, the fact that you have stamps and punches, stamps and dies. Sometimes they even coordinate with the papers, and the papers that coordinate with, yeah, it's just, you have the very best products that are on the market for paper crafting. So that's why I just love to share Stampin' Up! So thanks again for being here. Be sure to share my video, and take care. God bless.